So the truth about the captain of the Coral Peacocks, Dorothy, well, I can definitely say with this chapter, to also correlate and totally not time this video at all with a certain news cycle with, a certain character coming to Smash Brothers. I'd say with Dorothy, you never saw it coming. That she's weird. Yeah, Dorothy is in fact a weirdo, if not slightly a magical girl. Just saying that might be a little bit of the thing that was in this chapter of 185, and I'm happy that it actually went through expectations where we thought that it was going to be like, oh, we're just going to fight towards the exit, and they ended up doing something incredibly clever with this chapter to actually deal with the scenario that they're in right now, as like they immediately like, oh sweet, if we can get through there and all that back to where everyone else is and all that, so like they go and have like luck just dive in where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is the right idea. And then she comes out, Dorothy's like, alright, I came up with the idea of the fact that it's like, if I cannot like erase them and all that, then all I just need to do is just put them down and seal them all to it. And it's like, oh come on, give us an exit. And then like it's just like she like with if anything and all that, like they're saying like, come on, give us an exit, give us another one, give us one more. And it's like even with like what Sally's saying, it's like, well, she sealed the exits with such a strong will that it's now going to be near impossible. The fact of the matter is, like, if you keep thinking of an exit, then she's going to be like, all right then, but it's shut. Like, I sealed it right there, and it's just like, all right, what can we get her to do? Like, and like Charmy's like, oh yeah, give us food, and it's like, this is bad, and like they're panicking. They're like, oh, this is bad. We need to get out of here. How can we get her like even defeat her without even having like an exit? And it's just like, and it's like, wait, why don't we let her like have it like do it herself? And it's like, wait, what are you talking about, Luck, about this? And it's like, we don't know how we're gonna be getting out here. It's just like, look, all right, for the meantime, if anything on there, like we need to go and do something where it's like, let's try and like deal with this, where it's like they start throwing off the electricity, they start throwing off the fireballs like with Magnus, like timed explosions, and they're like, wait, what is going on? And it's like, this is useless. Like, why are you trying to deal with this? They actually end up using like Charmy and Vanessa's powers together to like make this little conjuring of herself, of like the actual like to make a fake and all that with like the heat haze created from like Magnus fire, and it was just crossing her mind. There's like, this is the real person, and it's because exactly the same thing is that with a Luck as well, that you had two souls tied together in the same body, and that's why even in like this illusion, you if you hate and all that, like it will materialize, and it's like the real Dorothy is going to be coming into this, and like it's like the captain of the Coral Peacocks, and it's like, so both versions are here, and it's like, oh yeah, the captain's arrived, and then we hear her talk for the first time ever, like not including this fake version of her. And it was like, I'm so sleepy, do something for us and all that. And it's like, oh, you'll call me here, good job, Black. But she does like this thing, like the idol shit. And she's like, leave the rest because I'm Captain Big Sis. And I'm like, alright, she's quite peppy, she's quite over the top. And I was like, she's doing all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, so much like the serious like street character. And I'm like, did she just say like she's like Big Sis, and like how old is she? Doesn't like looks younger than most of us, and it's like, can you hear us? And she's like, no, I'm 27. And I'm like, wait, is she like older than fucking I think she's older than fucking Yami. And I'm like, okay, where Yami looks like he's about in his mid-40s, if anything, on there, but no, he's in like his early 20s. Same thing with like Vanessa as well. I was like, oh sure, you know, that's fine. And it's just like, I'm going to be able to take care of things. And this is where it's like, where we have this very weird interaction of this fight on there, saying like, I'm just going to give you guys like the same, share the same dreams and everything. So, you know, let's have some fun. As she's like throwing off like all these butterflies and like all this creativity. And this is where exactly you get to see the little tiny bit of like, what was going down with like Dorothy's mind, and especially with like the two versions of her, like the creativity part of it, because there's this gorgeous panel that they have later on where it's like tornadoes and fires and snakes and knights and vines, and it's like everything on there, and it's just like, and like they're even talking about like all the imaginations that they have in mind. It's like both of them imaginations with the glamour world, it is unstable, it can't support both of them, and it's like, it is collapsing right now, and it's like, oh crap, we need to deal with this right now. And it's like, we get to go out alright, and it's like, and even Dorothy's like there, it's like, man, that was refreshing. And it's like, you know, I'll take care of my body, guys, okay, and all that. We'll meet until we meet again. And it's like, wait, no, what's gonna happen right now? And it's like, well, and all that, it's all gonna work out just fine right now. And it's like, immediately where it's like, going back to one of the old personal favorites, one that, you know, was in the anime a little while ago, was the combination magic between Magna and Lug, where it's like the flaming thunder bomb as both of them charge up with this whole excitement, and Sally's like going, you know, the highest degree of magic power and spells, but it was still a bad match to you, and all that. If you weren't able to take us all out in one hit, you know, next time you just... The problem was is that you gave us time to think up of the plan, and overall, yeah, that's how we're going to be concluding the Dorothy fight, which I was like, I'm happy that it wasn't just like race to the exit. It would have been just more of the lamer way, but the fact is that we got a reveal of like, this is the real Dorothy. Like, this is what we actually get to see from her. Like, this is what she kind of envisions herself when she's like sleeping half the time. Is like, she is very peppy. Like, you see it as well with all the little dolls and stuff and all this stuff. Like, she's very excited and like very I would say useful is a kind of a word, where she's like, she thinks like they're high up and she doesn't think about like her age and everything. It's like, again, to just point that out, like, she is older than I am, and I look like I've aged like a fucking brick. And I'm a couple of years younger than her, like that. I'm like, no, I'm still in my early 20s, and I'm like, bitch, you look better than me. I know you're a manga character, but fuck, like, look at me. Oh, look how I've ended up. I'm like, this bitch. Like, god damn it. I wish, you know, youth is not that kind, I'm afraid. So, oh no. We'll only have to wait and see from later on. Overall, though, with this chapter, like, again, this felt like a quick bam, 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 like, just everything just going through for this chapter. It was just more just concluding everything that we want to see, which I was happy that we're with this nice little surprise that we had with Dorothy, like, with what exactly was going on with her, because I generally was like curious about her. It's like, she is the one captain left, and it's like, she's either going to be on her side, or she's going to be like, I guess we haven't seen her since it was already bad. It was like, are we going to have to rely on her as an ally for a while? And it was like, no, that's not the case. Now, with her being kind of like an antagonist or a main force against, to at least see with like, especially with Magna and Lux's version of this, and seeing that they just pretty much just nuked her from the sky. It was like, they generally ended up using a lot of their combinations with, like, I think, like, the fact with Charmy and Vanessa forming the figure event, and like using Sally as like kind of the brains of this operation, and then you had Magna and Lux being speed and power like they always are, and the fact that they just use this as a chance, just like, alright guys, here we go, as they go in and try and use the same move that they did on Vito, and at least try to like finish this one off. And it was like, you know, even like overall, I'm kind of happy that we was able to see a little bit more about like Dorothy, because again, it was a character we wanted to see, since we've had quite a lot of time recently with Charlotte, with Jack, like, especially Yami, like, we've been talking about the captains. We've even had, like, you know, Silver as well, like, with the family, all of them getting some time to shine in there. Like, the only ones that never got that time to shine because he's an asshole, and screw him, is, like, the Purple Orca's captain, because, you know, he didn't actually deserve it. The return of Fagolion, like, you think about how much this arc is giving you with, like, every single one of the captains has at least now had a time to shine, or at least been somewhat involved in the story in, like, near, you know, 200 chapters. Like, that's quite a lot of stuff that we can have, like, you know, for our characters to do. And even with the whole little temporary alliance as well that we've got with Sally as well, it's just so much stuff going on at the moment. So overall, pretty really enjoyable chapter. I was actually smiling the entire way throughout this one. I actually kind of needed this as well. Been in a shitty week, I'll say, for the most part, but it's like, overall, like, it's stuff like this where it's like, I generally thoroughly enjoy chapters where there's like, this puts a smile on my face. This generally makes me, you know, glad, you know, that I read and I talk about these in review, because this was like one of those chapters that I came as like, I cannot wait to talk about this one. I was like, I'm really excited about this one. It was the first thing that I took in mind. I'm like, you know what, overall, real fun chapter. I think 185 was a pretty goddamn solid chapter, and even as well, 184 last week was pretty good, so cannot wait for more. So let me know you guys thought about the conversation down below. What did you think about this Black Clover chapter? But that is all from me this week, so thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.